An expectant Aviva awaits. Ireland return to Dublin after the most deflating of weekends in the Windy City. Did the tide turn irreversibly last week, or as implored by Andy Farrell, will Ireland turn the page? For Japan, there was no repeat of the miracle of Brighton. Instead, a walloping at Wembley, a decade's worth of revenge unleashed by the box. Warner Dearns for the first time, and Caelan Doris for the first time in 189 days lead their teams out at the Aviva Stadium. Well, nigh on 250 years of shared history between the two unions, yet just the 11th meeting between the two great nations. History favours the men in green, but Japan will look to invoke the spirit of 2019 when they shocked the world and beat Ireland. Only Michael Leach remains from that group, but what a day for it. No finer sight as we ready ourselves for the anthems. Our run, Navian and Ireland's call, but first, Kimi Gayo, the national anthem of Japan.
Accompanied by the Army Band under the combatant of Captain Tom Kelly.
change for Andy as he welcomes the Brave Blossoms. The front row gets a facelift with the addition of Kelleher and Clarkson, and Tyke Byrne, the much maligned red card, rescinded, and Caelan Doris back as captain. It's a big day for Craig Casey. He makes up an all-Munster axis 9 and 10 with Jack Crowley once again entrusted at fly half. And it is Roy of the Rovers, the tale of Tom Farrell in the midfield for a debut. For Japan, limited changes, but so much inexperience. Kenji Sato in February was captaining his university side in the Japan Championships. But with Warner Dearns as captain and the might of Makisi alongside, there'll be plenty more punch for the Brave Blossoms. Naoto Saito has rejoined from Toulouse, where he's been learning the craft from the great Mandu Pont himself. He partners Shung-Sin Lee, the co-vice captain, and Yoshitaka Yazaki is also a university student. In the replacements, Paddy McCarthy is set to make his first bow at the Aviva, while Shinya Kimura will get a Brave Blossoms debut.
Oh, what a massive day it is for that man. For him, for his family, for everyone that knows him, all the minis coaches, all the schools coaches, the different club coaches that helped him get here, but he doesn't have to reinvent the wheel today. He got here because of the game that he's shown over the course of the last year, in particular with Munster. So play that and play it hard. Good luck to him.
Yeah, and from a Japanese point of view, you feel if they're going to have success today, they've got to get across the game line. And that man, Ben Gunter, alongside the number 8, Makisi, are going to be vital for that.
An Italian job today, Gianluca Niecki leading a trio of Italians in Matteo Lipperini, Andrea Piardi, Federico Verdelli, and the FPRO Eric Gozan. Well, the rugby gods are smiling upon the Aviva today.
Thank you very much.
Do they smile upon Japan or Ireland on the field of play? A lunchtime reservation in D4 to open up our feast of Quilter Nations action. And goodness me, Epineri Aluaviti wastes no time in introducing himself to the Irish team. A bruising carry and an exit from the boot of Crowley, up and under. This is the aerial battle everyone's been talking about, and while Stockdale's there first, maybe there's a knock-on. We play. Crowley looking to find a seam with the hard-running Baird, one of the few shining lights from Chicago a week ago. Doris.
Got a knock-on.
Well, it looks like we will come back for that knock-on, but early signs of that aerial contest.
Immediately a much better start from Ireland. Really nice little interplay. Couple of phases down their own 22, and then Jack Crowley decided to go aerial bombardment. Stockdale couldn't quite hold on to it on that occasion, but that won't be the last opportunity that he'll have to reclaim ball in the air. It's going to be such a key component, not just of this game, but of the international game going forward now with these new laws of no blocker runners, clear access for the team that has kicked it to be able to have an even contest up in the air, regain possession.
And I think this is going to be a vital part for Ireland. This set piece has been talked a lot about over the last 6-9 months. So look, the scrum's going to be vital, as will the line out. So let's see how this first one goes.
Naoto Saito just about gets the ball before the scrum completely crumbles. And a bit of power in the midfield before Japan think about some width, but Kipe Yoshida pops up on the inside, a two-time Olympian in the shortened format of the game. Shiwakawa gets dished up. And Tyke Byrne looks to clamp down and make a nuisance. He will be raring to go after the injustice of Soldier Field. Saito to Gunter. Japan lacking punch and penetration against the Springboks last week. There's a big onus on the likes of Gunter and Co, and Shung-Sin Lee will be hoping for a bit more front foot ball to build upon at fly half. Makisi, another carry, then the captain Dearns.
Makisi seems vital to their go forward with so many small players amongst them. He's one of their biggest units. He's going to give them advantage line, eke out hard yards.
Well, Lawrence acting as the fulcrum there, and wow, Ireland, that is a fabulous bit of play. Japan forced to hold on, and Tommy O'Brien in the thick of it.
Popped out really quickly.
Yeah, Japan very much playing the same way. They're trying to get the width, and you just have seen in that mass passage of play, Ireland are going very hard off after that breakdown. They have some unbelievable guys at the breakdown there. Doris, Tagburn, Nick Timoney.
Crowley, not a dead cert to start this week. There was talk of would Prendergast get given the go, and he had plenty to say about the 10 situation. Eddie at his bouncy best in the press conferences this week.
He's got plenty to say about everything. He's picking sides himself before they're actually come to pass.
Well, Seung-Sin Lee coughs up the ball, and Casey's smart to it. Here's the debutant Farrell, but misses his mark. Ireland
Forward pass.
almost fashion a break, but the knock-on had already come.
Yeah, Ireland will be a little bit disappointed that line out, but I think the big thing is they got in, they got set, they were quick, and they actually had hands free in the air. Just a little bit of nerves that happens the first line out, especially when you've been under a little bit of pressure. But they managed to get the breaking ball, but yeah, they'll need to tighten it up. I'm sure Paul O'Connell will not be happy in the stand as usual.
A lovely attacking opportunity though for Ireland. We saw in that first scrum they certainly looked as though they had the squeeze on Japan with their put in, a bit more control with it being their possession. Crowley sitting in behind. It's all about what the Japanese defense does. If you get a right shoulder up here from an Irish perspective, you've got to go down that right hand side, but expect Japan to filter over to that bigger blind side. Lots of options available.
Well, they have the penalty in their back pocket, and Tommy O'Brien is finally fed a bit of ball to work with, but his brother ricochets off some Japanese shins.
Under pressure collapse.
To the corner, you'd imagine.
Yeah, I would think so. I think probably, Brian, from a back's point of view, there's nothing better than getting that penalty advantage. That rock-solid scrum, it allows you to have a go at something, and that bottom corner was on. It was just a real pity that Tommy O'Brien just couldn't quite get the ball in behind.
Pass was just a fraction loopy, wasn't it? It's a good idea from Tommy O'Brien, just the execution wasn't quite what he wanted.
Well, the scrappy start has fashioned an opportunity from the tee for Crowley. One that he'd relish as an opener. Got Ireland rocking on the board in Chicago last week. And history repeats itself to the pleasure of the Aviva against Japan.
I remember in my goal-kicking days, the ones in front were a nightmare because you're expected to knock them over. Give me a touchline conversion any day of the week. That's where you're way more fluid, but these guys are different gravy. You just expect to knock them over at every opportunity.
Yeah, and I think definitely not against taking those 3 points. Just calm the nerves a little bit, get ahead of the scoreboard. We have plenty of time to go into the corner later on.
Well, there goes Doris. I think it's safe to say that he missed the action. A 13 tackle cameo in his brief spell on the field last week in Chicago. He's spoken of a reflective time during the Lions and resetting himself personally as a player, and even a digital detox, so much so that he didn't actually tune in to the last 2 Lions tests. He watched the first one with his mates in the USA, and then went dark. But like a caged animal unleashed last week, and he gets the full start. Beautiful line against that seam between the tail and the 10. And Shimakawa builds on the play. Gunter takes a couple of green jerseys to halt him. Lawrence to Uluiviti. Now it's on. Japan just thread a tricky ball through, and Yazaki to hair after it, and that's nice.
Beautifully slick handling from Japan. Really nice phases. Just a little breakout and initially a really great hard line back where the ball came from, but not overplaying their hand. Again, living up to their reputation of being very, very quick rookers of the ball. Big in their arsenal, making sure defenses don't have an opportunity to set. Really, really nice from Japan. Simplicity, very effective.
I think by contrast, that the passing from Japan looked so slick, so accurate, right on the money, whereas Ireland, even when they were trying to exit there, was just a little bit, as we would have said, like back shoulder, just checking those players and just taking a little bit of the momentum out of the attack.
Well, the salvation of the touchline safely found by Crowley, but it's a far brighter start from Japan this week than it was against the Springboks. They'd been mauled into a concession within the opening few minutes. And now it's their chance to launch from a full line-out just on the doorstep of the Irish 22. Luiviti, prominent in the exchanges so far. Makisi as well. Lawrence just sees the ball dislodged, but fortunately for Japan, backwards. Luiviti again, delivering on what Eddie Jones has demanded of him. And Yazaki yet to play a professional club match. Shimokawa. Oh, it's muscular defence from Kelleher. And the rest of the rear guard attempt. Burns just tries to lurch through with that 6'6" frame. Saito just sees the ball slip through, and it's loose, and it's open, and it's in the grasp of Crowley.
Stop. Okay. Okay, play it on. Hold in front. Inside.
Well, a bit of hesitation for a moment, but nice angle garnered. Osborne doesn't find the paint. Instead, he finds the counter-attacking ambition of Yoshita Yazaki.
Go, 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 go.
Well, they're on here if they can shift it wide. A couple of big forwards out wide.
Well, they've heard you, and Warner Durns is one of them. He sizes up Stockdale, slips through the right shoulder of the Ulsterman, and then Makisi is back on that line against the grain. Lawrence to Kobayashi, who gets boomed. No one at home for Ireland here. But Stockdale scampers across. And Crowley finds the touchline, but Saito links up with his half-back partner. And now it's the turn of Tomoki Asada. Oh, it's a gorgeous ball, drifted over the top, but just slid forward for Gianluca Gnecchi. Well, the Aviva was purring at that one.
Yeah, look, it's so far the Japanese have been a joy to watch. Again, we talk about that pass accuracy, their ambition to go, their willingness to play. It probably just drifted forward a little bit. But it's just brilliant, their breakdown work, as you can see Ireland trying to chase them down, but their efficiency there has been incredible. And when you watch them, as soon as they don't get the gain line, they just come back down the blind side. And it's almost like a reset for them to go again.
Plenty of play, but little penetration in an attacking sense from either side so far. Just the three from the boot of Jack Crowley to report.
Asada playing very deep here. A great opportunity for Tommy O'Brien if he moves from behind the scrum down his blind side. Asada cleverly has moved forward.
It was laborious ball for Casey. Almost the chance was gone. Once Japan identified the shifting Crowley and O'Brien, and it's messy in the contact area. Gunter first to pounce, and once again Japan are flashing down the 15-metre channel. They've opened Ireland up. Slipping inside, such elusive feet from Asada, who drives into the 22.
First man.
Tommy O'Brien has saved the day because Asada's foxing feet had Ireland at 6s and 7s.
Use it!
Calm descends.
Onside chaser.
And Casey burrows the ball back. You are allowed to get your hand in there to aid it on its journey now. It's all to help the flow of the game. And speaking of flow, well, Japan are fluid right now. Oh, matadoring stuff from the Japanese attackers. Then it's Mikisi bringing a bit of brutality.
Lost.
Japan starting the brighter. More cohesive. Charlie Lawrence gets caught low. That was a hit that needed to be
Wide
made.
neck roll.
But a neck roll denies Japan the opportunity to build further.
Oh, they're playing with a tempo at the moment that Ireland are really struggling to live with. And in fairness to them, they've defensively been able to scramble when they have been squeezed. They've got themselves back in the point. An improvement on last week.
Yeah, perfect.
Defensive numbers in this initial 13 or 14 minutes, but they have been squeezed with the pressure of the continuity of this Japanese team. Really, really good quality ball handling, rejuvenation of the ball, and here's a little turnover. The speed of these outside backs, but it's also the change of transfer of where the ball is, constantly move the ruck.
It's a really beautiful combination of some real physical carries from their forwards and some unbelievable footwork and acceleration from their back line.
Well, Rory, the line-out's gone awry again here, and it was a thorn in the Irish side in Chicago. They lost 5 of their 16. Much food for thought
let's go, please.
for Andy Farrell. Japan weren't much better, but it hasn't started so well for Ronan Kelleher here.
This feels like a not back in my day sort of moment. It wouldn't have happened.
I'm definitely not back in my day when the Japanese are here. We do not want to go back to 2019 if we can avoid it.
We weren't going to mention the trauma, Rory. We weren't going to mention.
But that was just looked like a little bit of a miscommunication. The first one was a bit of an overthrow. They just now got to get their composure, shorten the line out a little bit, go to a couple of their quick movement balls, maybe a throw jump. But this is where you need your leaders to stand up so they can get that. Just take a breath and understand that they've been all week practicing as a unit and just go back to their basics.
Balance, please, again. Quick reset. Let's go.
Those stats say it all, don't they? Look at the number of carries, triple the number of carries. Likewise, meters made and broken tackles. They've been all about possession. They've kicked so little ball away. Conversely, Ireland have decided to go to the air and long a couple of times.